Welcome to a news recap on EyesofAfrikaTV, where we bring you news amid headlines through the week. Nigerians in the Federal Capital Territory are struggling to find sales points for the subsidized 50 kg rice priced at 40,000 naira, which was launched last week. Despite the initiative announced by Minister of Agriculture, Senator Abubakar Kyari, to make rice more affordable and combat hunger, residents report that designated collection or payment points are not available in their areas. Moving on the morning of September 9, 2024, the Department of State Service operatives arrested Joe Ajero, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, at Abuja's Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport as he was about to fly to the UK for an official assignment. He was held for 15 hours and released later that evening, but his passport was seized. He was released to his lawyer Abubakar Marshal of Falana and Falana Chambers. The Federal High Court in Lagos has introduced an online platform for obtaining affidavits directly from the court, a move aligned with global digital practices and led by Chief Judge Justice John Soho. Currently, the portal can only process non-cases related affidavits, allowing Nigerians to obtain these documents without being physically present. Deputy Chief Registrar Godwin Long and ICT Department Head Agu Charles recently demonstrated the system's functionality. The Department of State Services confirmed its officers visited the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project SERAP office in Abuja, describing it as a routine investigation rather than a raid. The DSS claimed the visit was misinterpreted as harassment and promised a thorough investigation of the allegations. SERAP, however, labeled the incident as an unlawful occupation in their statement. Moving on, the United Arab Emirates has deported 400 Nigerians, including 90 women and 310 men, who arrived at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, on September 11, 2024. They were welcomed by various government agencies, including the National Security Advisor, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, and NEMA. Additionally, on September 13, 2024, 103 Nigerians deported from Turkey were received by NEMA and other officials at the same airport. And away from that, as of Wednesday, 11th of September, at least 36 aspirants for the October 26 Kano State Council elections have tested positive for various drugs, according to NDLEA Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi. The drugs detected include codeine, THC, benzodiazepines, and nicotine. The state NDLEA commander Abubakar Ahmed reported that 20 of these aspirants had positive results for these substances. The drug testing policy, which began under former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, is ongoing, with the number of positive cases still rising. The Central Bank of Nigeria has mandated that all transactions from POS terminals be routed through an approved payment terminal service aggregator, with a 30-day deadline for compliance. This move, announced in a circular on the CBN's website, aims to improve electronic transaction tracking and follows the September 5th deadline for POS agents to register their businesses. And on Thursday, the federal government signed the Cape Town Convention Practice Directions, allowing Nigerian airlines to dry lease aircraft. The signing took place at a meeting led by Vice President Kashim Shettima. This step is intended to lower airline operating costs in Nigeria. The minister highlighted that the timing of the implementation agreement is important due to the global economic downturn. Oil marketers are worried because the Dangote Petroleum Refinery hasn't announced the price of petrol yet. even though the cost of importing petrol is around 1,120 naira per litre. If the Dangote refinery sets a high price, marketers might import petrol instead, as the market is open for competition. In July, the cost to import petrol was 1,117 per litre. At that time, petrol prices at the pump were between 600 naira and 700 naira per litre. It was also gathered on Monday that the delay in announcing the price of Dangote petrol has led oil marketers to intensify their discussions with foreign partners in order to begin importing petrol. The Edo State chapter of the PDP has withdrawn from the National Peace Accord for the September 21 governorship election, despite 17 other political parties, including the APC, signing it. PDP chairman Anthony Azegbemi and candidate Asue Ighodalo attended the signing but did not sign, citing the need for the release or legal charging of arrested party members before agreeing to the accord. Moving on to stories outside Nigeria, in Africa. In 2024, Russia took over the rotating presidency of BRICS. Putin announced that many countries are interested in joining BRICS. Specifically, 34 countries have shown interest. BRICS is now discussing how to include new partner states. The organization, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE, aims to create a multipolar world and push for a fairer global order by reforming institutions like the UN, IMF, and World Bank. And finally, on the news, the United States will announce support for adding 2 permanent seats for African countries and 1 rotating seat for small island nations to the United Nations Security Council. This move aims to improve relations with Africa and Pacific Islands, which are key in countering China's influence. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield hopes this will bring advanced Security Council reform, a goal of President Joe Biden. The U.S. also supports permanent seats for India, Japan, and Germany. Despite ongoing demands from developing nations for permanent seats, past reform efforts have not succeeded, and it's uncertain if U.S. support will lead to change. Thanks for watching. Join me again on the next episode next week, Sunday, 4 p.m. on another edition of News Recap on Eyes of Africa TV. I am Tosin Adeyemi.